Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Taiwa Adibala. If you're new here, please you're welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow, and of course, make a comment and always turn the notification button so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a new video. Alright, so let's get into today's video. Today's video we'll be talking about the things. I'll be giving you 5 things I wish I knew before venturing into real estate. All right, so when I started my real estate journey, I felt like it was going to be like, oh my god, oh yeah, you tell people that this is what you're doing, or you post on WhatsApp and they were like, oh my god, I like it, and then they're going to put the billions into their account, and then boom, the sale is done. I lie, that's not possible. I mean, it's possible but rare. So I'm going to be discussing the fact that one thing I actually first of all learned is that it is not a quick money. It is good. It is a good money. It yields good money, but it is not quick. For example, you have to go through the process of meeting the client, or let me say discussing with the client, negotiating with the client, and all of that, which is actually most of the time the tedious part, because you have to know how to convince people to put their money into what you want them to buy. I mean, what you feel like it's going to be beneficial to them. Like I said, it is not a quick money. It is actually a good money. It gives you the money the kind of money you may be looking for. It kind of gives you, but it is not a quick money. For example, my first sales actually took me about 5 to 6 months. I was speaking to the client. I was like, oh no, this is the time I needed it. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be needing this thing in December. I'm like, okay, December is fine. By December, November ending, I was reaching out. December, I was reaching out, nothing. At the end of the day, he bought in February, which was okay. I mean, that was my first major sales that I actually loved, and my first sales basically, and it was, I mean, swift. And one thing is that particular sales brought in another referral. That's the good thing about real estate. Referrals are very important, which leads me to the point number 2, is you have to know how to network. Real estate and networking are 5 and 6. So the second point is networking and branding. In real estate, you have to know how to network, and it comes with the fact that you have to know how to brand yourself properly. One of the things that people say is, I'm not talking about saying that or fake life. No, there's a saying that says how you want to be addressed, dress how you want to be addressed. Yeah, that kind of thing. So what I'm saying in essence is that you have to always put yourself out there. You have to look like the millions you want to collect from people. For example, if you have a meeting with an investor, you cannot afford to go looking like you can afford 1k. Do you get? So you have to look good. And real estate business, or you being as a realtor, is not a cheap thing to go into. I mean, you can buy affordable things, look really good, and make them dress well to look good, and really kind of expensive, yeah. But trust me, you will need to brand yourself properly. And so this brings me to point number 3, which is you have to know how to sell yourself first. So the third point is sell yourself first. People need to understand that, oh, you as a person, you are capable of receiving the money they want to give you. Now, the money is actually not going to your account. Your commission is not coming to your account literally, but you need to present yourself that, oh, me first, even me myself. I mean, you need to introduce yourself first, and you need to let them know that, oh, this is not the first time experience. It could be you. In fact, you need to just put yourself first. It comes with personal branding. You have to read a lot, because you have to know a lot. You have to know a lot about the economy, especially when it comes to real estate in Nigeria, or wherever you are. I mean, it can be okay. Let's say you're in Port Harcourt. I mean, you have to know the real estate in that area. You know, have to know how to pitch and brand yourself all the time. It is very, very important. This brings me to the last but not the least point. Actually, not the last point. I think second to the last point. I think number 4 is consistency and rejection. In fact, when I say there are 5 factors, this one they are to get there, because the truth of the matter is you have to always show up every day or every now and then, not necessarily every day, but you have to always show up. You have to enlighten yourself, you have to learn, you have to consistently rebrand yourself. One thing about real estate is if you brand yourself now and then you feel like, oh, you're good to go, before you know it, boom, you have come back. That's just the truth about it. So you have to keep at it, you have to consistently do it. Yes, consistently go out to get leads, prospect. You have to consistently reach out to clients, or let me say prospects rather, because if you meet someone today and be like, oh, you tell them about real estate, or this is what you do, they may be like, them. Some of them will be like, oh, I'm not interested now. You have to consistently reach out to them. You have to, in fact, it might just be, oh, how are you? Just greet them. And one of the, like, it's very important in this line of business, or let me say in this line of career, you have to consistently reach out to your clients each and every day. Not necessarily every day actually, but almost all the time. You have to, in fact, if you plan to reach out weekly, make sure you're consistent with it. And this time is one thing about it is this is not easy, especially when you have been trying to pitch and then you are not getting what you want. This is where I bring into the fact that rejection is normal. Generally in life, not everybody will like you as a person. Not everybody will like you for what you do or for who you are, which is normal. You are not going to kill yourself because somebody doesn't like you, don't you? So it's same thing here. If someone does not like your product, or is not ready to buy your product, or doesn't see the value you are trying to share, it's fine. You move on to the next person, and that's why I say in real estate, when someone tells you no, for me it means next opportunity, or next person, let's move. It will always pain you, or most of the time, but you have to get used to it. And when someone tells you no, you just like, for personally, I've got to the point where when someone tells me no, I'm like, okay, to the next time. Sometimes when I'm talking to someone and I'm looking at this thing, is not looking like, oh, it's going to look well, I'm like, okay, we expect no, and I'm telling myself that, well, let's move to the next person. Literally, you have to consistently show up, and then rejection is not an issue. To the last point, knowledge is power. That's the last point here. Knowledge is power. You have to know your product. If you're working with a company, you have to know the in and out of the company. When I mean in and out of the company, what the company, their documentation, you have to verify all of these things, because you are putting yourself out there, especially if you're selling with a company. If you're putting yourself out there first before the company, and then you must be able to trust the company you are actually pitching to, helping people to come and buy from. You must know your product, you must know your location. For example, I have some of my products that I sell in Ekpe. Imagine I don't know anything about Ekpe. I don't know whether there's a development or not, or maybe I've not even been there. That's not nice. Do you get? I understand that, especially people who are into more. They're not just into land. Some people do land, some people do land and housing, some people do more commercial part of real estate. For people who do everything or more, or you are a beginner, you necessarily don't have to know all the location one by one at the same time. You can pick time to actually visit all of them, and that is when it comes to real estate, you need money. Literally, you need money to go into real estate, and that's why they say it's more than is to find money. I've had days to say it. Anyways, my conclusion is that real estate is tough, but it is very rewarding. Literally, it is tough. I can assure you, it is tough. People will treat you like this one just wants to collect my money. These people will treat you like you don't exist, because they have not seen the value of what you want to give them, or they are refusing not to see. In fact, some of them may not be ready at that time to buy, but you have to keep going at it. So it is rewarding, but you need to learn how to also face rejection all the time. Once you face rejection, you need to learn how to stand up to it. Thank you very much for coming to my channel today. I hope this few points of mine helps you in making your decision whether you want to or not to join real estate. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and of course, please guys, let's get to 500 subscribers. Bye.